Now, when I did the restoration on my Ninja, I knew ahead of time roughly what I wanted to do, and I wanted to be real careful not to do things that would make the bike either uncomfortable to ride or ruin the mileage or ruin some other part of the bike, because this bike in particular does so many things well. It is a true all-weather fighter. It's got good brakes and suspension. It's comfortable to ride, gets great mileage, and I already own it, and it's in my collection. Yesterday, the weatherman said there was a chance it would hit 100 degrees. It only hit 98. What a disappointment. Today, they said it's definitely going to hit 100 by lunchtime. I don't know if I should be disappointed or not. It has been a hot summer. Anybody that's been out there riding in this weather, you know. And the only way I know to deal with it is get out early and find shady roads and make sure that Karen has iced tea ready when I get back in the driveway. Well, let's go riding. Now, even in the hottest of weather or the coldest of weather, I like to try to get a ride in, and I'm always trying to push that envelope just a little bit, but needless to say, as I get older, it gets harder and harder to push the envelope. But moving bikes around, always good exercise. I always want to get the two Ninjas ready, and anytime I look at my two, now I have three Ninjas, one is a track bike, but this is just the old Ninja. I call him the old Ninja, 35 years old, and the new Ninja, 15 years old. And they have a lot of things in common, but the biggest one they have in common is they're unique to me. I have made each one of them my own bike, and the whole objective is to over-maintain them, over-wax them, over-clean them, do everything to keep their life as long and as productive as possible. And so far, so good with that. I have to admit, that's worked out to be a good plan. As I get to the radar detector, I always make sure I have that anytime we're going to go for a little bit of a frisky ride. And up where we ride is very low law enforcement, but there is law enforcement. So, and a lot of times they warn you of their parked shooting radar by where a road might have an obstacle in it or something. And they're doing a lot of work in that area right now. But anyway, it's a hot day. I wanted to get out early, and Karen checked the weather for me right at the end before I left for this ride. And once again, they said it's going to be 100 by lunchtime. I wanted to be back way before lunchtime. And it seems like we're in the middle of the hottest summer ever. I don't know if that's true or not, but the fish seem to agree. Now, the fish eat more and more as it gets hotter and hotter. And we've had a banner season for the garden. All of Karen's plants are blooming. We're getting vegetables pretty much every day. And the groundhog that visits us and the rabbits that live in our yard, they're getting fatter by the minute. I guess they want to be like me, to be honest. Almost everybody I know that buys a motorcycle or has a motorcycle wants to make it unique. They want to make their own little custom touches. And of course, some people decide to buy them and install them, and some people make them. I like to make as many as possible. I like to polish things that are not polished. And to make a bike unique, sometimes you need a vision of, you have to see it in your head before you do it. And to be honest, a lot of the things I've done to bikes in the past, I made custom seats that were not comfortable. I put on different accessories that I thought, exhaust systems in particular, that wound up being too loud or in some way got annoying. But there's some things about the bike, if you think them through and you make a careful list in your mind, and then when you go to make the bike unique to be your own, you're not as prone to being disappointed if you just dive in a pool. Now, my son-in-law Rob originally wanted to get a 250, and I talked him into getting this a little bit bigger bike, so in case he lost interest in it years later, I would take it. And pretty much that's what happened. A few years later, it became my bike, and I spent the 500 hours restoring it. And before I did the restoration, I made a lot of sketches, a lot of plans with John Pothier and Thomas Luciano to do some custom stenciling. And all of the stuff I did before I actually did it, I had pictures of it in my mind. Now, it's a totally different thing if you're making a custom bike or a unique bike that you're not going to drive a lot, or you're just going to go down to the local pub and look at it or whatever. This bike gets ridden, and it gets ridden hard, and it gets ridden often. And one thing about the bike that's really nice, it's a unique little feature. Like an SV650 Suzuki, people tend to underestimate just how good of a bike it is, how good it handles. You go on a group ride with bikes that have twice the power, and sometimes they look in a mirror and they go, well, what's he doing here? It handles well on the back roads where I ride. It handles slippery roads like in the winter when they salt the roads, and it's really easy to clean. Now, every part of the 500-hour restoration and customization is on our channel. Hey, there's coming up on 3,100 videos out there, and it won't be long. We're just looking forward to riding the rest of this summer, no matter how hot it gets. This is a daily driver. And so far, I'm really impressed with the Michelin 6 tires on this bike, and actually on the MT-09 too. They seem to be wearing much better than I thought they would. Now, this day heated up quicker than I thought it would, and finding shade for the whole ride, the rest of the ride, was getting to be challenging. But a lot of this area where I like to ride, there's plenty of trees and plenty of shade. Now, making that carbon fiber seat cowl was kind of the cherry on the sundae, and all that's on the channel. We've already posted those videos. And it took longer than I thought it would take, but the end result is it really adds a nice touch to the bike. And the last time I looked, we're just coming up on 38,000 miles, I believe. It's 15 years that both Rob and I have owned a bike, and it has been, this is the definition of a maintenance-free, bulletproof bike. We over-maintain it, over-maintain the oil and filter and tires and whatnot and batteries, but in the end, this bike has just been rock solid, and the word that I like to use is bulletproof. And all the years I've had it, it just seems to be getting better and better and better. It has really become, well, what other word can I use? A good friend. And because it's unique, I have never seen one even close to like it. And every time we go to a meetup, any of the meetups, there's always somebody asking me, what year did Kawasaki make that? And you know, that was one of the goals when I did all the unique work. And the goal of doing a custom unique bike that has the look the factory might have made it, not as easy as you think. It's not just sitting down at a sketch pad. It really was a lot of work getting this to look like it does. And I look back at how many hours I put into painting the wheels, how many hours into doing all the little detail things, painting all the flat black parts, making all of the, well, the seat cowl from scratch, carbon fiber. There's a part under the windshield that's carbon fiber that I made. The paintwork is Bentley black. All of the stenciling, all the graphics are made, and they're paint. There's no stick-ons. They're all clear coated, and you can't rub your finger over them, and you can't feel where they are. It's a super high quality paint job, and I think it really came out great. And it got hot so quick today. It's time to head back to the farm, and I don't know yet how hot it is, but I feel like I'm cooking in a microwave here, and I just want to get back and have some iced tea. Is it 100 degrees yet? 86. 86? Okay, going to 100. I got home just in time. It's always good to get home before it gets to be 100. Hey, hope you enjoyed sharing this hot ride with us. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button if you did, and thank you so much for watching.